make you say it. Hi, I'm Veronica. I'm the Executive Director of the Center for Copial Justice. We have about 20 plus residents in Cecil Township that are members of our organization, many of whom have already spoke tonight, so just want to reiterate a lot of what you heard from your residents and to take their guidance. Also wanted to touch a little bit on the economic stability of the industry. We've heard a lot about jobs and the need to protect our economy and how oil and gas is a driver in our local economic future. But yet we've been seeing reports coming from a lot of these Fortune 500 companies of how they're downgrading their assets in Appalachia. Chevron is completely pulling out of Appalachia in many instances. CNX has downgraded their assets of oil and gas drilling in Appalachia. And it's becoming very, very more clear that they're lobbying heavily for corporate giveaways and public subsidies to sustain their ongoing growth and development. And so if we want to protect the future development of a township, I think we also should be researching the economic stability of these industries moving forward. And then there also were comments about violations and things that have happened in the past. And in Cecil Township, there has not been a drill well head necessarily in the township, but there have been ancillary support industries or support to oil and gas operations, and those have had violations on them. There was the World Star impoundment that was holding waste in it, and there were lots of violations from the DEP for it. I kind of came up here, I could get the exact numbers to the township, and I do want to reiterate what folks have said before, the responsibility of township supervisors for the health, welfare, and safety of our residents. And I think so often industry frequently comes in and threatens boards with lawsuits, and it's a very real threat, costs lots of money, litigation is not cheap, but at the same time, residents can also sue boards as well. And so we need to, one of the things when we've done work on holding fossil fuel companies accountable to the existing laws and regulations is working with these environmental justice communities, these folks that deserve.
I'm gonna just interrupt for a second. So if you could keep it specific to our ordinance and changes to our ordinance, I'd appreciate that. We have no control over a board of investigating the economic viability of a company. That can never factor into our decision. So just, if you could focus on, changes specific to the ordinance, I'd appreciate it.
I would reiterate the comments that folks made about the 3,000 plus setbacks from residents. Some people said a 3,000 foot setback from residents is what EHP recommends is the way to keep the health of residents safe, as well as the other key factor is seeing the whole operation before, the one part of the permit comes in, asking the operator for the whole plan of the operation in the future. For instance, where's the gas line going to go when they ask for the well permit, so you can know how future development can happen in the township. And we'll submit more comments that are very targeted to the ordinance in writing to you all as well too. Thank you.
I would just ask that as you are getting up to speak, especially if you're outside the Cecil Township community, that you keep in mind that tonight we're here to discuss changes to the ordinance. So setbacks, for kind of explain it in a simple way, we can dictate the where, so where it's located, that is allowed under the MPC. We cannot dictate the how. So how they drill or whether it's electric or gas, we can't really say that. So just keep that in mind when you're speaking, so that it is something that actually is something that we can consider. Sorry.
Hi, can I talk now? Okay, thanks. I didn't mean to interrupt your process, and I certainly appreciate the fact that you folks are here tonight for your residents. That means a lot, I'm sure, to your constituents. I am a newly elected council member in Jefferson Hills. I greatly apologize for my attire. I'm a basketball coach and I am sweaty and I just came from practice, so bear with me. It is a big undertaking. We're going through the same process in Jefferson Hills, and I just wanted to open lines of communications between your township and our borough. You can go on the webpage and get my information. My name is Nicole Rosito. I just wanted to remind you, though, most importantly, of your fiduciary duty to the health, safety, and welfare of your constituents. And you have difficult choices to make, but I'm sure that you can make the right ones. Thanks for having this today.
Sorry for making you sit down.
That's okay.
Anyone else? Diane.
Diane Riggs Nicolao, 2 Fettenberg 4004, Sir James Drive. I agree with a lot of the people here. You do have to find a happy medium. And I think the Augustine Wells site is going to be a bellwether. It's going to let you know how invasive this industry can be, and without any kind of setbacks or changes in the ordinances, it may scare away people, residents. South Fayette is very stringent, and they are booming. Take a look at them. Do you want people here that are going to live here?
No.
Or do you want just taxes from the industry? In July of 2019, Range Resources had an open house for our neighborhood. And there were probably 30 people there or more, and they were giving us all the rhetoric. Laura Zimba, I think that's her last name, we were talking to her and she said, oh, I understand how you feel. And if I were you, I would be fighting too. And she's a Range Resource person, PR person. So they understand, but they still want to make the money. So please look at all of the aspects of this for the industry as well as for the residents. Your tax-paying, voting residents. And it's a growing community. You can see that with Traditions of America and McConnell's Trails, and there are many other areas. And I think we're going to find that the roads to a fracking site have got to be industrial roads. They can't be North Paoli, going under a train trestle, which is deteriorating every day. Please listen to everybody. Thank you. I have some patents for you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Ma'am.
Yeah, is that better? My name's Lois Bauer Bjornson, and I live in Cedar Hill, Pennsylvania. I am with Clean Air Council, and I sit on the board at Center for Coastal Justice. What I see as I look around this room is what I see in many communities that I work in. I work with some residents here in Cecil.
I'm actually going to stop you just because there's already been somebody that spoke from Center for Coalfield Justice. There is a resident behind you. So if we have time at the end, but I don't want, I would allow the residents to speak just because we've had somebody already.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was going to speak on behalf of Clean Air Council, but she can go first too. I just was saying that I.
Thank you.
That's fine. No big deal.
Good job, Sandy. We've heard enough of Coalfield Justice.
That's okay. I'm just trying to give actual residents the opportunity.
Thank you.
Sure.
And thank you for the opportunity tonight.
Hey, Julie, if you could hold it and then say your name. Although I just said it for you.
My name is Julie Devano and I live on Grange Road, and I apologize if I'm not as super prepared as the other people who
Can
spoke
you
very
hold
well.
it like?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm not used to this. But I'm not as super prepared. I was just kind of sitting back and listening, but some of the things struck me that I just kind of wanted to address that other people were saying. I think these ordinances are very important to ensure the health and safety of our residences, and that's why so many people are interested. And it just struck me as I'm listening to everyone, that every person kind of speaking in favor for the industry has some kind of financial stake in the process. I can't think of one that got up and didn't say, I'm a leaseholder, or I work there, or I make my livelihood there. So I just want you to really listen to the residents that really want to protect their families and not their pocketbooks, as so often the industry supporters do. You've heard tonight from the industry supporters, they reference their right to earn money from their land. It's certainly been stated on some of the pro-drilling, like social media sites. I don't know who runs them, they're anonymous, but, I've even often heard them say, they slant and say that only people that can't benefit from the drilling are against it. Well, on the flip side, it's a red flag to me if the only people that can benefit are for it. There's a lot of causes I support that I'm not going to gain financially from. Animal rescue, mothers against drunk driving. We're not going to benefit financially from those, but they're important causes. I haven't heard one person stand up and support this that isn't financially benefiting. So I just want you to take that under your consideration. Some of the details in the ordinance, I did read it. I'm not a very techy person. I'm a mom here and a resident. I'm an accountant. But some of the things in the ordinance itself that I just had kind of made some notes looking at it was that some of the things are very general. They say that, like there's one in section 3 in the zoning, it says that there should be a safety zone. It doesn't say what that is, it doesn't define it, and it doesn't say what criteria will be based on. It just says it's on a case-by-case basis. I think a safe zone is probably one not in a residential drilling, not in a residential area, but we need like strict data points for that so the compliance can be measured. Right now, if you put that in there, these general terms, you can't measure it. There's one in dust control, which I think dust is probably the least of the concerns of this community, but it just says that it mentions appropriate dust control. And this is kind of the tone throughout the ordinance, but I think we need to look at, really quantifying these data points so that the monitoring and compliance can be regulated. And just to tap on what some other people said, that, when we have looking at other ordinances, I think is a great idea, is saying to look at studies. I think it's very important that these studies are not industry-done studies, that they're third-party, outside, unbiased opinions. I work and have worked for a long time. I worked in writing grant proposals. I'm going to bring up another topic that I know is a hot topic, but only for one reason. I think we can learn from it. We're all familiar with the ABB property issue going on, and I think all of us would love to see it cleaned up. I think the discord comes in of who's going to pay for that, and how much is it going to be, and could it, in effect, bankrupt the community? But we're looking at, some people say that, well, there are grants out there to clean it up. Well, grants are not a given. It's a very competitive process. I work at writing them. More grants are denied when you apply for them than are awarded. So just applying doesn't mean that you're going to get them. And also, any industry grant, in any industry, not just this one, any industry-funded grant, they're done through that industry's legal counsel. So that if that industry doesn't like the results, they're never going to see the light of day. So you have to keep that in mind and make sure that it's all third-party monitoring.
Is she crying?
Let's see. Oh, people talked about too, the development of housing plans. People are for that. Well, that doesn't emit benzene and cancer causing carcinogens like we see a lot of times with the fracking or is out there. And I just want you to, think about when you're doing this. A lot of people talked about all the technical things. They're very more well-versed than I am. Please consider those. But, we need you to put the regulations in place that will eliminate the dangerous environmental consequences. Now we have the opportunity to prevent another disastrous site like the ABB property. We're trying to clean that up after the fact. We have the opportunity now to prevent something disastrous from happening. So I hope that you'll consider that and take those steps. Thank you.